What's good, everybody? Welcome into Early Edge Live, our afternoon live show underneath the fastest growing brand in all of sports betting. And this is a sports betting show of record. You know we are powered by the almighty sports line. I'm your leader, the coach. And boy, you would think that after a 22-6 Saturday and Sunday, that maybe, just maybe, my guys would take it off, that they would lose their focus. That is not the case. Already today, 3-1 on the show. Denmark hits. Belgium to win and nil hits. Belgium -1.5 hits. Thank you, Martin Green. The under in Denmark didn't come in, but hey, we can't have 4-0 all the time. Now, we're going to be here for the next hour. We're expanding the afternoon live show. We're going to be here most afternoons on weekdays, and then in the fall, we're going to be every day, 7 days a week just for you. Let's bring in the stars of the show. And look at my board today. Are you kidding me? Our male model right above me. We call him Chase Food. You can call him Justin. What's up, man?
How you doing, Coach? Good to be here. Love that we are doing 5 o'clock hours. Can't wait to be on here almost every day, watching the show on the days I'm off still, just to get the good plays in. But yeah, happy to be here. Let's do it.
All right, let's do it. You have been red hot. I mean, red hot. Now, we have a brand new addition. He was on the other day, but I wasn't here, so it's the first time that we're together. And you see him all over social media. Nobody loves Sportsline more than this dude, Allan Bell. Welcome to the show, sir.
Coach, appreciate you having me, buddy. Everybody, thank you so much for bringing me back on. And let me say this. In a box next to Justin, it's a little tough, man. It's a great-looking dude, right?
I always say that.
Yeah.
I say you got to have a male model, and we brought ours in. I mean, it is what it is. I get it. I get it. But you and I, we can go to the same barber, and we're straight, baby. We're straight.
There
now,
we go.
Everybody knows the leader of our show is the man right next to me, and we know him affectionately as the Maestro. What's up, man?
Hey, Coach, I don't know, just enjoying sweating some soccer, getting ready for some MLB, digging into these NBA series. Let's do it.
All right, we got a lot to get to over the course of the next hour. Now, a little housekeeping before we get into our games, and boy, do we have a lot. We're going to do what we normally do, all right? Everybody's always asking for a free year of Sportsline, so here's what we're going to do. If we can get 100 likes on the show, 100 likes, I'm going to give away 1 year-long subscription to Sportsline. Then if we get to 200, we'll give away 2. And if we get to that mythical number of 300, that's crazy. We'll give away 5 year-long subscriptions to Sportsline. All right, so get those likes going. And normally we have a little contest. We're not going to do that tonight because there's no NBA game to root for. But if you have any comments, you can leave them, and we can read them on the side of the screen. So, guys, let's jump right in. Maestro, I want to start with you because you mentioned the sweating of the soccer. And normally we just talk about picks, but there was a great human interest story that just happened in the Denmark game. Yes, we won Denmark on the show, but as you're watching it, Christian Eriksen died on the field less than 2 weeks ago, and his team was not expected to do anything, and yet now, because of a few things happening, they make it on out of the group stage. Just an amazing moment in the Euro 2020.
Yeah, I'm going to leave that part of it to you because honestly, I haven't been dialed in as much to that. I mean, when it happened, I was obviously, but what did you see today when you were watching?
Well, the fact that they were so emotional. I mean, tears after the game. Everybody was emotional because of the fact that they nearly lost a teammate 2 weeks ago. He died. I mean, he died. And then he gets brought back. He's fine. He's with his family. And then to win it for him and to go on to the group stage when nobody thought they would do it. I mean, they were statistically out of it. And then to do it today was really remarkable. They may not win the whole thing, but this is what sports, and the reason that shows like this exist is for stories like this. I just thought it was really cool. And the fact that we cashed was also cool. AB, you got something?
Yeah, I mean, it's just fantastic that first off, and you're right, the guy passed away. I mean, literally on the field. I mean, so the fact that, they were able to, resuscitate him, his teammates rallying around him is just fantastic to see.
Awesome. Justin, I know you're a human interest story guy.
Yeah, I mean, look, obviously, that story captured everybody's attention in the middle of last week, and it was a scary moment. So to see everybody sort of rally around this team and for them to come out and win and maybe make some type of Cinderella run. I mean, who's not going to sit there and, enjoy that for them, for Christian Eriksen and for everybody who supported him through this honestly scary event. So just hopefully he can be okay. The soccer community can move on and hopefully with this man with us. But he's released, he's home resting now. So at least good things are coming for him.
That's exactly right. So they will continue on. We will continue to have Euro 2020 picks here on the show because Martin Green has been amazing. Quickly, we've got two plays that people on social media have been just waiting for. Mad Max in the Thunderdome, our new 21-year-old handicapper. The kid doesn't even shave yet. Maestro, can you please give out his play for tonight that he wants to give out on social media here on the show, please?
Sure thing. It's Tyler Mahle on the Reds, under 2.5 earned runs allowed, coming back at plus money against the Twins. And Mad Max is going to post this write-up after the show sometime. And Mahle on the road, utterly dominant, 1.63 ERA. I believe he's allowed 2 or fewer runs in every single road start. And, talking to Max about it, he didn't think the matchup was too imposing. It was kind of a neutral matchup. And that's his play for tonight.
I'm surprised his parents let him have a cell phone at this point in his life. It's really, really crazy.
Coach, can I tell you, like, he's the kind of guy when I text him, he's like, yeah, I'm on the way to the water park. I don't know what age you are. If I'm going to a water park, I'm taking my kid, he's still going to the water park.
Hey man, I tell you what, I say this all the time. We got to have so many different personalities as we expand the brand. He certainly fills a void. There is no doubt about it. He is our target audience, 18 to 24-year-old. No doubt about it. Now, years and years ago, I grew up in Kansas. One of my favorite things to do. And yes, Mad Max has been red hot. Thank you, John. Brand new producer today as well. Welcome to John. I used to go to the College World Series every single year. One of my best friends in the world played for Wichita State years and years ago when they were really good and a good program. We actually have a play for the first time tonight on the show. The College World Series. AB, come on with it.
Here we go. All right, so you got tonight, 7 o'clock Eastern. You've got NC State against Vanderbilt. Both won their opening game. Vanderbilt is a moneyline favorite, minus 200, total of 9.5. Look, here's the deal. Vanderbilt has the 2 best pitchers in the country, and oddly enough, their number 2 might be better than their number 1. Jack Leiter, he's the son of former MLB star, Al Leiter. The kid's been nothing but pure gasoline this season. All right, he's got 10 wins on the year. 7 of those, Vanderbilt won by 2+ runs. All 10 of those, he only gave up 1 earned run this year. The kid has a 2.16 ERA. He's on fire. And look, I know that it's a large play, money line minus 200, but look, Vanderbilt, they went, their program history, they're 8-1 in first and second round games. Their manager, Tim Corbin, understands how important it is for their pitching later on if you win games 1 and 2. So here's the deal. Vanderbilt's the play tonight. Now, I'm going to say this. Yes, that's a lot of juice. Think about this. Think about Vanderbilt on the run line, minus 1.5, and here's why. 74% of Vanderbilt's win this year have been by 2+ runs, okay? They are a team that thrives on this, especially when Jack Leiter's on the mound. And the way that they won Saturday in extra innings against Arizona, I think it's going to fuel this team. So Vanderbilt's the play. Take a look at that run line. It might save you some juice, but Vanderbilt gets it done tonight.
I like the fact that you gave out both. My book doesn't have the run line for the College World Series play. It only has the money line. Now, I think it's appropriate right now to see just exactly how much you do watch the show, Allan Bell. Okay? Maestro knows what's coming. Jay Smooth knows what's coming. I'm going to see if you actually do watch the show. All right, minus 200. Obviously, that's a lot more than we like to play on anything, let alone baseball. But you just gave the stats, which means the juice, sir,
is worth the squeeze.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Right now.
I just ripped my headphone. Oh, I thought your pause there for a second meant you didn't know it.
Oh, no. Hey, a little dramatic pause, build up a little bit. Yeah.
I'm here for it, man. That was awesome. All right, fantastic. Yes, the juice is worth the squeeze tonight. You heard all the stats. Educate, entertain. That's what we do here at the Early Edge. Get that Vanderbilt play in. Don't let it go up. Don't let it go up because we have market movers here. People watch the show, the line changes. All right, so we will continue to update those 2 plays throughout the rest of the hour. Now, let's quickly shift gears before we get to the NBA on our Major League Baseball plays tonight. Maestro, you're on the Astros today, and we're also on the over. Do you still feel good about that play?
Yeah, I still feel good. And, a lot of people have said, oh, why are you laying minus 150? I laid minus 153. I think it's up even higher right now. I think it's a great spot because Odorizzi has been actually better than his numbers indicate And the Orioles do not hit right-handers as well as they do hit lefties. And of course, we know the Astros, the very best team in baseball against lefties. They're absolutely raking 6 runs or more, 8 of their last 10. The Orioles bullpen is a mess, but I could also get into the first 5 innings. If you want to play this first 5 innings, minus a half a run, you could bring it down to about minus 120. I'm not looking at the odds board right now. Earlier, it was like minus 120, minus 125 for that first 5 innings. Totally good with that play as well.
Okay, very good. Anybody else have their thoughts on the Astros, who have been really good for us here at the show, but they have started to figure out, especially, I believe, against left-handed pitching, right? Maestro is what you said earlier today.
Yeah, number 1 in every metric against lefties now. Yeah, even better than the White Sox.
I was going to say this, agreeing with what the Maestro was saying. You look at the Astros; their last 7 games, their runs are up almost 2 runs, and their hits are up 9.5 to almost 11.5, 12. So yeah, I mean they're hitting the ball well. Yeah, I could see it. I'm totally with it.
All right, very good.
Please. Let's talk about this one. So as we just saw on the screen, I do have a play on this game today. I was able to grab that over this morning at 10. We might get to 11 before the close today. I'm seeing, some books at over 10.5 minus 118 or so, which is just, incredible market value for me. I knew that this one was priced a little bit too low. You love to see that. I'm with Larry. I really do think the Astros win this one. Baltimore just is not that type of team that's going to come around and surprise you against a right-hander. But I do think we'll see a good amount of scoring tonight. The conditions for hitting are just, even for Camden, it's a good night to hit. So this is already one of the betting hitting parks, and you're going to have a little bit of boost in run scoring. So I wouldn't be surprised to see that double-digit score tonight. In fact, I see that as the most likely outcome. But yeah, I'm definitely backing the Astros if I have to choose a side on the money line.
Yeah, my book, I got it at minus 116, but I had to go over 10.5. By the time you put it out, it had already moved earlier today, which is what happens a lot when it comes to our guys on this show. Real quick, a reminder, we're almost to 100 likes on the show. That happened quick. And when we do, we're going to give out a free year-long subscription to Sportsline. So let's get to 100, and then let's get to 200. Now, there's a game that I'm and this happens a lot. And I love my guy, Zach Attack, but he has the zigzag theory that he likes to play with, that if something happens good to somebody, then it's going to be bad the other way around. Now, the A's had a really good weekend other than Sunday. They lose on a triple play in the 9th inning to the Yankees. They travel, and now they play Texas. And in the simulations at Sportsline, guys, 5.0 to the A's, Rangers 4.3. Now, he's on the Rangers plus 115 today because of all the travel, because of all the road games. It just scares me a little bit because I don't like to play bad teams against good teams. Thoughts by anybody?
I'll hit this one off. Sorry, Allan.
No, go ahead, bud.
I'm totally with Zach on this play.
Okay.
I'm totally with Zach. I actually, Kyle Gibson has been like a shining star for this Texas team. I think he hasn't lost a decision all year. So he's literally sitting with a 0 in his loss column. I was talking about this a little bit this morning with a buddy of mine. I think that if I was going to play it, I'd probably maybe go play the F5 and see if he can, continue to, be that excellent at the beginning of games and keep the Oakland A's, who might be a little tired, off their game until he gets out of the 5th or 6th inning. And I think the Rangers might be able to manufacture a run or two tonight. So look, I like the value Zach's getting. I'm on board with the play. I wouldn't go on the other way. Again, travel is really important in baseball, and it is tough to jump around like this. So yeah, I'm with him on the analysis. I like it.
AB?
Yeah, so, I understand, and I'm with you, Justin, on the F5. That might be the play there. Coach, I'm with you. I hate betting bad teams. You look at the Rangers, they've lost 13 of the last 16. They're only 15-19 at home, and the A's 19-11 on the road. They're a solid road club. So I'm with you. It's kind of a scary game in terms of, just like you said, betting a bad team. But Justin might have the philosophy there. That F5, that might be the play.
You know what I actually did, and it was a little more juice than I like, but we had such a good weekend. I feel like I'm playing with house money, which, again, is everything that we educate people at home to do. But I got him at plus 1.5, but I'm laying like 140. But I don't mind it being home and getting the run, and they have to win by 2 on the road. I didn't mind laying the juice for that. Anybody like that play, playing at plus 1.5 around 140?
Yeah, I don't mind it. I mean, you mentioned 15 and 19 at home. That's like shiny. They're 10 and 27 on the road. So if you want to back Texas, this is the spot.
Hey, real quick, got to jump in. I got to jump in. We're up to 127 likes, fastest we've ever done here on the show. So let's get to 200. And here in a second, I'm going to have Johnny text me who our first winner is of a year-long subscription to Sportsline. And you know I say it all the time. When you play with us for 30 days at Sportsline, you're playing with house money after that. We're just that good, and Sportsline is that good. So we have one winner. We're working on 2. All right, let's move on to that Reds game tonight. We just talked about the under that Mad Max gave, but the Twins are one of those teams that they're an over machine. Despite the fact that you have a really good pitcher on the Red side, here's what the simulations say at Sportsline. Reds 6.0, Twins 4.9. So I'm assuming they're saying that once you get to the Reds bullpen, that's when they'll start to score their runs. Hopefully for Mad Max, that's the case. So that would be close to 11. The total is 9.5. I think I'm going to play the over, which I already actually have done. Anybody?
Go ahead.
All right, cool. So really quickly, these are really great over teams. I'll read you the numbers really quick. The Reds are 41 and 26 and 2 on the over. The Twins are 42, 24 and 4 on the over. And the Twins are 18 and 7 on the over when they are I believe they are the odds on when they're the underdog. They're 18 and 7 on the over, which is pretty great. So they're the underdog tonight. Hap is really where I think you're probably going to get most of your action for this overplay. He's just been, bottom of the barrel type of pitcher. Having seen him play for the Yankees, I'm not a big fan. That was pretty much a wasted signing for us, in my opinion. But nonetheless, I do think that he'll give us a good chance to get over, and this Reds offense has been pretty potent. So I do like the play. I do lean that way. It's not going to be like an official play for me, though, but I think it has legs.
Okay. I am going to do something real quick. I'm going to call an audible because a lot of times people who like it in the first 100 and they don't get that year long, they say, Coach, we can't have another chance to win. Here's what I want you to do because we just did it. Johnny, you're a genius. You can re-text us in the comment section here on YouTube and put your Twitter handle and then type the word coach. And we're going to pick another winner off of those people. So even if you've already liked, text us again, your Twitter handle and the word coach. We're going to pick another one. You're welcome. All right, I wanted to switch gears now.
Oh, can I just jump in and just say I'm on the Reds on Sportsline. Zach is on the Reds. Micah's on the Reds. Micah Roberts, former Vegas bookmaker, used to run sports books for 13 years. And he's actually number 1 right now on Sportsline. If you look at our hottest experts, he is absolutely rolling. So it worries me that we're all on the same side. But I mean, J.A. Happ, 9.84 ERA last 7 starts. And the Reds, they didn't play that badly in San Diego. They had their chances to win a lot of those games. So Twins have won 4 straight season high. They have a good mojo. They're home, but just a pitching matchup, huge edge for the Reds. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, let me say this: Reds are 8-3 against left-handed starters. Yeah, that's the play. I think the over is the play here.
All right, very good. I do have one more baseball game I want to hit on because it may be the lowest total I've ever seen. And I understand it's a 7-inning game, but Jacob deGrom is starting tonight for the Mets. Have you guys seen the total?
4.5.
I almost thought it was a misprint at Sportsline when I saw it. 4.5. I had to play the over out of principle. I had to play the over. Is anybody else with me?
Well, they're already underway. So that's the first game that started.
And you have a runner you already have a runner in scoring position, Coach. So I'll pull for you.
I didn't even notice the time. Yeah, you're right. Okay. So I already have a runner in scoring position. I'm a genius. Because of course that means it's going to score with 1 out in the bottom of the first. I've never seen a total this low it's
a 7-inning game.
I understand that. But even with the 7-inning game, usually it's like 5 or 6. But in the way he's been getting hurt, I mean, how far can Jacob deGrom go today? I mean, he's been missing parts of starts. He's been getting MRIs. I just think it's a little of an overreaction to a guy that, yes, is still dominant, but is he that dominant with the injury history recently?
I mean, I think that he is that dominant. He's pretty much the best pitcher that's probably been alive in my lifetime. I don't know. I mean, Roger Clemens is pretty good, and obviously Sandy Koufax and all these guys, but DeGrom, what DeGrom's doing is pretty incredible. Like he's the guy who's throwing the hottest pitches on the diamond by far. And I think there's a real chance that the Braves don't get a single run, that DeGrom pitches all 7 innings and the Mets win 2-0. And I think that's just kind of how this one's going to trend because the Mets sort of know who's on the mound. They never give him run support. So I thought the line was accurate, but you have a pretty good shot.
Yeah, okay. I just there's no way I can bet the under. I mean, those are
I understand.
There's no way you can bet the under. And there will be a second game tonight. They're playing a double header, and the Braves had to play 2 yesterday. It's just a tough spot. It's a tough spot for the Braves in that one. Okay, let's switch gears now because everybody loves on these live streams to talk about the NBA. We're down to 4 teams. And if you would have told me that these would be the 4 before we started the season, heading into the conference finals, I would have told you were absolutely bonkers and out of your mind. But we have the Bucks and the Hawks in the East, and the Suns are already up 1-0 in the West. And I want to start in the East because, Maestro, you gave out a play this morning on the show. I want you to give it out again. Explain the odds and what your thought process is for the Hawks.
You know, Coach, you mentioned house money, and you use that phrase a lot, and that's exactly what Kevin Herter says about the Hawks. They're playing with house money. You know, nobody thinks they were going to get here. And I think we're just looking at them from the lens of that's a little bit cloudy because they were 14-20. They're 30 since the coaching change, 35-15. That's a 700 winning percentage. If this was a 700 winning percentage team, would you be plus 350, plus,
Correct.
380? What kind of value you're getting? So yeah, I'm not calling for them to win the series, but I think they'll take a couple of games. I don't think the Bucks are going to blow this team out, especially if the Bucks are going to play 6 players again. I don't think they can blow this team out, 4-0 or 4-1. So it was only minus 125. I'm seeing it at minus 130 now in William Hill, and that's basically the Hawks to win 2 games. It's listed as Hawks plus 2.5 games.
You gave that out when the Bucks are playing the Nets, which was crazy that you could even bet that against 2 incredibly competitive teams. On paper, and again, you talk about perception, these are not equal teams, but it would not be beyond the realm of my comprehension to think that the Hawks could win 2, maybe even 3 games, because when the Bucks are off, the Bucks are off. And we'll have to wait to see. AB, Justin, any thoughts on this series?
Yeah. Let me say this. I'm exactly in the same thought process as you guys. I mean, give the Atlanta Hawks credit. They have been arguably the most consistent team in the NBA playoffs, right there with the Phoenix Suns. You know exactly what you're going to get. That doesn't mean they're going to win every night, but you know what you're going to get. You just talked about the Bucks, up, down, up, down. Obviously, they played great to finish the previous series. But, yeah, I'm with Larry on this one. The Hawks can absolutely win 2, win 3.
Big Daddy in our comment section, by the way.
Yeah, I see. He totally disagrees, and that's his right. And I agree that DeAndre Hunter not being there is a huge loss because I think Chris Middleton is going to go off this series without DeAndre Hunter. But I think the extra day of rest, giving Bogey Bogdanovic another day to get healthy for Wednesday. This team is 5-2 on the road in the playoffs. The Bucks allow you to shoot 3-pointers, 38% from deep. They don't let you really score inside. But I mean, and the Bucks are big. But I mean, with Capella and Collins, and then the rookie coming off the bench, the Hawks do have enough size. Giannis going to have a great series. Middleton's going to have a great series. But I think the Hawks shooters, they didn't shoot like they can against the Sixers. The Sixers defense is something scary. And they got by that. This defense is scary inside. But in terms of the perimeter, these Hawks, I think, are going to light it up.
And how many times have we seen, guys, where a team goes through a really difficult series against a team that they should have played in the conference finals? Because that's what we should have saw. It should have been Bucks Nets in the conference finals, but because of injuries, that didn't happen. The Bucks, that was as an emotional a 7-game series as you will ever see in the NBA. I could see them stumbling in the first game. That would mean the Hawks would only have to win 1 more game down the road. And I could see that happening in game 1 too. I really, really could. Anybody else?
Yeah, I'll jump in quick on that. I'm Team Bucks, man. I see a 5-game series, then I don't really think you can compare the level of competition that the Knicks and the 76ers brought to the court. Just pure talent. Sure, the 76ers should have performed a lot better. They also blew huge leads to this Hawks team that they shouldn't have blown. They lost Game 5 and Game 7 on their home court, and I promise you that the Milwaukee Bucks will not have those same problems. I promise you. It's just not going to happen. They are not going to blow a 20-point lead if they get one on Trae Young. They are just a better constructed team. They have managed Kevin Durant and the Nets, and if you think that like Trae Young and Capella are going to pose any threat, it's a different level of competition. I expect Bucks in 5. I'm all over it. I have some good money on them to complete in 4 or 5. So we'll see.
When you bow up like that on this show, when you know there is no shot, that is grounds for throwing your Venmo out there and challenging the other man on the show.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
So here's the bet. Maestro plus 2.5.
Yes, sir.
Justin, are you taking that bet? And our regular bet on the show is $100.
$100.
Are you in?
I'm in. Yes, sir.
He's in. Boom.
And
Boom.
I am sending him. I'm going to check it, but I'm sending him, I believe, 125 if I lose, and he's sending me 100 if I win.
Oh, you're gonna give him.
I'm with it.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna do what the odds are. I'm not gonna take.
That's the odds. Okay. I mean, I look. We'll see. It's going to be a good one. It's going to be a great series.
Let me just say this. Let me just say this. I absolutely love that we have a betting show with bets inside the show. Like, it's fantastic, man. I love it.
Well, the very first time we did it, I lost $1,000. So I've taken that down just a little bit. M Squared lives in the different penthouse than the rest of us. But 100%. I say this all the time, AB. We have the greatest bosses in the world. Because no place else
Speak of them.
do they encourage you to bet real money on the plays on the show because we're invested. But also they encourage, if we disagree, to bet each other. So we don't even have to call and ask. That's a company you want to work for. I'm here for it. Now,
and we don't have to pay the rake. We don't have to pay the rake. We don't have to pay the book. We just get to bet against each other.
You're damn right. Me and Zach have been going back and forth for weeks now. All right, we're crossing the bottom of the hour. Thank you so much for joining us here on Early Edge, the live show. Right now, we're trying to get to 200 likes, and we're going to give out another year-long subscription. And I know I haven't given out the first one yet. As AB says, dramatic pause towards the end of the show. But we're also giving out a third one. That if you give us your Twitter handle in the comment section here at YouTube and then write the word coach, we're going to pick one from that as well. So we're hoping to give away 3 year-long subscriptions to Sportsline. By the way, quick update. Mets 1, Braves nothing. I'm 20% of the way there, baby.
There you go.
20% of the way there. All right, let's switch gears now to the other. Oh, also one other thing. We gave out 2 plays right at the top of the show because a lot of you tune in at the bottom of the hour. 2 plays right now here live on the show. Mad Max in the Thunderdome. He's got Tyler. How do you pronounce his last name? It's Mahle. Mally. Thank you. Under 2.5 earned runs allowed. You got to go into most books. Go into those prop bets below the play, and you can find this play there. And then AB gave out another play. What is that, AB?
Going with Vanderbilt and Vanderbilt on the run line, -1.5. A little high juice, Vanderbilt money line. So, yeah, save yourself a little bit. Vanderbilt gets it done tonight.
I like it. And with no NBA games tonight, and you want to watch a little bit different than your normal Major League action, but you got a little College World Series to watch live from Omaha as well. All right, we've got another series. And I'll be quite honest with you. I was so into the U.S. Open yesterday, and I was so into our red hot weekend, 22-6, if you're asking, that I didn't even realize that the Suns and Clippers series had started. Didn't even know. So I looked at my phone and saw the final score as I was looking for the under in the Sixers Bucks, Hawks, which we hit on the show. So now the odds stand at this -450 for the Suns, who are up 1-0. Clippers +350. I don't know about these odds now getting into this series 1 game in, and with the fact that you don't know about Chris Paul. Kawhi Leonard essentially is done. We believe he's done. I think the Suns are going to walk through the Clippers. Anybody can jump in.
Well, here's my question. All right, before we go in, and you guys are going to have some better stats than I am, but here's the deal. The Clippers, have started every single series down 0-2, and then we find out that the most dangerous lead in series sports is being up on the Clippers 2-0. So does Los Angeles pull this thing out again at the end? And I love you guys' answers because, Coach, I'm with you. I don't think Kawhi is coming back. It's going to be tough. Phoenix, literally the most consistent team in the NBA. They have shown you, and they did it without Chris Paul. He's coming back, but it's going to be tough.
I'm with you. I think that, the Suns should be able to do this, and they're like a much more complete team. I think the loss of Kawhi Leonard is going to show its head a little bit more here than it did with the Jazz, who are a little banged up, right? So yeah, I think if you think that this team can do it again, and you want to bet on the Clippers at all, I do think that you play around with the series price. And if they win that game, you can get some value on it. If they win game 2, you can get some value on it. But the chances are if they go down 2-0 again, I don't think that they're going to be able to do it. The Suns might be able to steal one in Los Angeles and go back to Phoenix for game 5 up 3-1 is kind of what I'm feeling. So, yeah, I'm not really playing much on this series unless maybe you're, again, trying to finagle some value out of maybe the Clippers stealing game 2 somehow, but it's going to be tough.
Coach, I think that Kawhi will be back at some point if the series goes long enough. I mean, from what I'm hearing, hyperextended knee, sprained knee. I think he'll try to come back if it goes long enough. I don't think Chris Paul is playing game 2, but he could be back after that. The one thing that worries me from the Clippers is, they shot 43% from 3. They got to the line twice as often. And still lost the game. But Marcus Morris, I mean, he's got a sore knee. He was 3 for 11, only played 21 minutes. That's your number 3 scorer. So now it's down to, Paul George and Reggie Jackson have to be amazing every day. And then you have to hope Terrence Mann, explodes again like he did. The one thing I would look at, I haven't locked it in, is Suns minus 1.5 games at minus 200. So again, it's expensive, but that's Suns to win 4-2. That way you do allow for the Clippers to make those adjustments and come back. But it's different with Ayton than it was with Gobert. I mean, Gobert was exposed. Everything was a wide open 3 because he couldn't move. He couldn't get out there. I don't think Ayton presents that kind of a difficulty. Plus, he's better offensively. He's a better offensive player, and he makes them pay inside.
The man played 27 minutes, came back to earth in game 1. He had 9 points. I've never been more frustrated than watching Rudy Gobert get exposed badly by that Clippers offense in game 7. It was embarrassing. And the look on his face when he doesn't know what he's doing is kind of like a 4-year-old who doesn't know if he should cross the street. It's unbelievable for the defensive player of the year that he couldn't figure out what they were doing. And it became target practice. Embarrassing. But some of the props I do like, especially with Chris Paul out, you knew Devin Booker had to take up more of the ball handling slack, more of the scoring slack. He went for 40. And I'm ticked that I didn't get on that prop. But with Chris Paul out, and I don't know what the number is going to be for tomorrow, but you would expect Devin Booker to go for north of 30. So if that player prop is somewhere in the 28, 29 range, I think I would like that play.
It's 30 and a half right now.
Well, I knew it'd be right around there. All right, 30 and a half, I think, is the right medium. I knew it was going to be close to that. So, I mean, with Chris Paul out, I think this is a lock. It was certainly in game 1.
I don't know. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, yeah, if anything, I'd maybe go for the assists again. And there's Mikey chiming in. So, if LA gets Kawhi back by game 4, it's going to be a fascinating series. That's an interesting take. So.
One play I'll give out an NBA prop from Mad Max, which I don't know if he's posted it yet, but he's going over 30.5 for Paul George. Since Kawhi's been out, 33 points a game, 24 shots a game. And then if you take Marcus Morris, being hurt a little bit and not getting his shots up, another huge volume, another huge scoring night for Paul George. That's one of his plays for tomorrow.
I like that. And he went for 34 in game 1. And Reggie Jackson hit all of his props in game 1, 24 points, 6 rebounds, 4 assists. So his par was 34. So he went well over his normal total, which is usually in between 24 to 28, depending on how hot Reggie Jackson is playing at that particular time. So I'm excited for this series. But think about this. We're going to have an NBA champion. That's either the Hawks, the Bucks, the Clippers, or the Suns. That's what we're going to have.
40 plus years.
I mean, right? This is crazy what we've gone into, and the fact that LeBron James is still complaining about how fast the season started. Stop it. You make $40 million a year. I'm done hearing about the reason all these stars are getting hurt is because of the short offseason. Guess what? Most of those stars didn't play until the end. They didn't. They were either done, not in the bubble, or they were finished. So stop it, LeBron.
I think it's a breath of fresh air, Coach. I love seeing all these new teams at this level.
I do too. Today, typical of First Take, you've got 4 teams playing, and their number one topic was
the Cowboys
in the game.
Oh,
it wasn't Skip Bayless. It was who's the best player in the game, LeBron or Kevin Durant.
Oh God,
why would you do that today? Why would you ever do that today? But that's what that show does, and I did that show 72 times. So, literally 72 times, and it just always would blow my mind talking about Tim Tebow, talking about the Cowboys, or talking about LeBron James.
Playing the hits.
Playing the hits, baby. This is a true story. I was doing my radio show once. And remember when Tim Tebow, they would talk about Tim Tebow for like 365 straight days on First Take. It was like crazy. Like he was Jesus Christ. And so I said, I'm not talking about him today. And I said it live on the air at the start of my show. And all of a sudden the door comes flying open. And it's our program director. Coach, you can't do that. Our numbers say that when you talk about Tim Tebow, it goes through the roof. I said, so you're telling me that people are driving in their car right now and they go, oh, maybe Coach is talking about Tim Tebow. Let me switch it over. No, they're not doing that. They're either listening or they're not listening. Period. End of story. He's the most overrated pro athlete, great in college, pro athlete in the history of sports, Tim Tebow. It's true. He just is. And that's not taking a dig at him. He's got a great life. He's married to Miss Universe. We all would love to be Tim Tebow. He just wasn't a great NFL quarterback. He wasn't even a good one. He wasn't even an average one.
He had that one run, right? That playoff game, but that's a long, long time ago.
That's a long time ago. He had that one hitch that all of us could have thrown to win that playoff game.
Yes, the hitch heard around the world, man. Yeah.
That's exactly what it was. The hitch heard around the world. But, hey, the man we used to love to try to get ESPN to let us do multiple things, but he's mastered that. Not only do they keep him on his SEC show, they let him play pro baseball. And then they let him play pro football. It would not surprise me if he does SEC on Saturdays and he plays for the Jaguars on Sunday. Wouldn't surprise me. They'll let him do it because he's Tim Tebow. But you know what? You guys are all Tim Tebow to me. You guys are all Tim Tebow. Quick update. We're getting very, very close to our 200 likes. So many people in the chat today. Wow, are we growing? And don't forget, if you don't think you're going to win the year-long subscription, you can put in your Twitter handle and use the word coach. And I'm going to also give away another year-long sub at the end of the show. What? God, we're 40 minutes in. This flies by. What are we looking at? What's our baseball game doing right now? What is our baseball game doing?
1-0, but you got 2-on-2 out. You got a big spot here in the bottom of the second.
This is a really, really big spot. A really, really big spot.
Oh, but DeGrom is up. Sorry.
He can hit, man. He can get an RBI.
Oh, actually, he's hitting 423. They just posted it.
You're like a roller.
Like,
you take me up, you take me down.
Unless I read that wrong, he's hitting 423. Can that be right? Yeah. Somebody look that up. That can't be right, but it does say it.
Yeah, Shohei Ohtani gets all the love. Come on, nothing for DeGrom?
I can't wait, and I don't know if we're going to do a special show on it or not because we do.
Yeah, that's his real average.
I love the fact, and I know this is a little off topic, but I'd love to get you guys' reaction to Shohei Ohtani. I think he'll be the favorite to win the home run derby, which is going to be crazy. I think this will be the highest rated home run derby in the history of the game because of him. What do you guys think?
Yeah, let me say this, and not to jump ahead of you guys, but I completely agree. He's going to be, like you said, he's going to be the Tim Tebow of the home run derby. Like they'll advertise and market it that way. What I can't wait for is that, we always hear the argument like after somebody participates in the home run derby that, their home run numbers go down, it affects their swing, etc. I look forward to like the first show having to decide, all right, is it going to affect his pitching or is it going to affect his hitting? But I don't think it's going to affect either. The dude mashes, man. Like he's an awesome, awesome story.
Yeah, I mean, it's really great that he's the first player to come out and say, I'm going to be in the home run derby. I love that for baseball. I love that for the sport. I love that you see this guy who's at the front of, the conversations about the sport. I mean, come on, you don't talk about baseball without mentioning Ohtani and what he's able to do on both sides of the ball. It's unbelievable. And I think it's going to push the level of competition in that home run derby a little bit more. Maybe some bigger names are going to want to go and show off in front of this guy who's making them all look silly because they can hit, but they can't throw 100 and he can. So
here's the deal. Maestro, you got anything before I jump in here?
It's a shame Guerrero's not going to be in it, but I haven't seen the rest of the roster.
When did it stop being cool to be in the home run derby? When did it stop being one of the coolest things ever? Because I still think it's very, very cool. And a lot of these players, and this is I love branding. Whenever I think about anything we do on the show, it's all about the brand, right? And so players like to complain all the time, oh, I don't have endorsement dollars, or oh, I don't have this, or I don't have that. Guess what? You got to get out of your comfort zone, and you got to get out in front of people and show them a side of you that they don't normally see day in and day out when you're on Fox Sports Southwest. And this is a way to do that, especially if you're not in the All-Star game. It happens on All-Star weekend in the NBA. And I tell my bosses at the PGA Tour all the time, let me run a seminar. Let me get all the players in a room and say, for all of you who think TaylorMade or Callaway or any of these companies should be paying you a lot of money and they're not, why is that? Why are you not being one of those guys? And it's a very, very simple answer, because they don't get out of their comfort zone. Their agents tell them, hey, you got to be careful, instead of being entertaining. And that's what Shohei Ohtani gets. And he's from a completely different culture. And he gets it more than any other player in Major League Baseball. I believe that. I'm betting on Shohei Ohtani to win and also be the All-Star Game MVP. I don't know what the odds are going to look like, but I'm gonna sprinkle just so I can root for it. Just so I can root for it. All right, recapping quickly. We've given away 2 plays on the show as we're quickly getting to the top of the hour. Mad Max and the Thunderdome. He's on Tyler Mahle. Reds under 2.5. That game starts a couple hours from now. Under 2.5 earned runs plus 105. And then AB is on Vanderbilt tonight in the College World Series. I believe, AB, that's an 8 p.m. Eastern start, if I'm not mistaken.
It might be 7 p.m. Eastern.
7 p.m. Eastern? All right, even though they play, it might be 7 p.m. Eastern.
Yep.
You got to make way for my guy Scott Van Pelt.
I wouldn't be surprised if we tune in and we happen to see AB like in the dugout or something. I feel he's very close to that program.
Are you in Omaha right now?
No, I wish I were. Me and Tim Corbin, we're tight like this. I should be out there, but nope, I'm here in Nashville.
Okay. It is what it is. Believe me, once you start being a regular on this show, you'll get asked to be everywhere.
There we go.
You'll get asked to be everywhere. M Squared shows up in a different city every single week. He was in Austin hanging out on 6th Street last week.
I think M Squared hopped in the chat and wants part of that Hawks bet too.
Wait. All right.
And I assume he's on your side, Justin, since you guys are tight, right? So
I don't know which side he's on. Mike's off on Monday, man. I don't know where he's at today. I'm glad he's in the chat. I love when he stops by, but I don't know which side he's on. He might be on the Hawks.
Okay. Hey, M Squared, if you're watching right now and you want a piece of this.
Okay.
Oh, he said Buck's side, yes.
Buck's side, yes. Okay, so
same bet. I'm not going his. No, I'm not going Mike's units. I'm going my units.
So we're going to call it our normal sports line bet, or then we'll make it. So that's our normal bet's $100, just so everybody knows, and that will be our normal bet unless somebody wants to up it. And right now we'll keep it there. I think Mike's got 2 bets. We'll keep it right there. That feels nice and somewhat friendly, even though I'm quite certain there's going to be a lot of talking back and forth going on between you two and the Maestro. And I can only imagine the GIF that our guy Greg is going to put out on Sportsline on Twitter with whoever wins this particular bet. So I like that a lot. So 2 bets, Maestro against Jay Smooth and Maestro against M Squared, each for $100. Give us that Venmo number. All right, we're less than 15 minutes from the end of the show. Again, a reminder, we're going to be here every single day this week and on days that there's big NBA games. And then by the fall, which is only a couple of months away, we are ramping up. As you can see, we're expanding the roster of our guys because we're going to be here every single day of the week starting in football season. And I can't wait for that. Some other exciting updates coming up in the next few weeks as well once they are confirmed. let's recap our games tonight for those people who haven't seen the morning show, haven't seen the picks for tonight. If you haven't got them in, we will quickly go over them one more time. Maestro, go through your Astros play and what you like, and then Justin, piggyback with your total, please.
Yeah, well, I think we talked about the Astros, at least my perspective, but I wanted to touch on the prop I gave out today on Twitter, which is Merrill Kelly under 5.5 Ks at plus money. I see you could go under 6.5 at a huge price like minus 170, but I don't want to do that. I'd rather take the plus money. I just think the Brewers, they have a terrible strikeout rate. Everyone knows that. We target them with overs all the time for K props, but it's changed a little bit lately. They're striking out less. And Kelly, has gone under this 2 of the last 3, but the main thing is he doesn't throw a lot of pitches. Has not cracked 90 pitches in his last 5 starts. So I'm looking for the Brewers to battle. I'm looking for him to wind up around 4 or 5. He has not been very effective lately either. So obviously hoping for a quick hook. But if we don't get the quick hook, I think we can still get there, with 6 innings.
And that's a 9. I'm on the West Coast here, so my phone tells me 6:40. That's a 9:40 first pitch against the worst team in all of baseball in the Arizona Diamondbacks. Holy smokes. But you can wait to bet that till a little bit later if you've got your bankroll tied up in the early days. And real quick, that's something I wanted to address because I get people all the time on Twitter, and I want to know how you guys do it, that they say, you know what, I start with $500, let's say, and then they bet all of our games and they run out of space before you can bet the late games. What's the best way to go about stacking your plays so that you can get all the plays in if you have a limited bankroll?
I'll take this and quickly let everybody know that we have actually hit 200 likes already.
Look at you.
Great news.
Stay smooth. All right.
But if you're running out of dough to sort of spend, you need to probably cut your units back. I think that you shouldn't be spending your whole bankroll on a given night of betting. That's just a little risky, right? Because if everybody loses, then you're done. You need to put in more money. And then that's not even really your bankroll if you are taking more money out. So, just try to be as disciplined as possible and playing. There's nothing wrong with playing small. Everybody loves winning big, but building a bankroll and being smart with your betting funds so you can continue to enjoy playing along and betting games and having the action is going to be a better long-term strategy.
AB?
Yeah, I completely agree. Just cut your unit size down, and give yourself, how I look at it is, each day, if I lost every single bet, which doesn't happen on this show, but if it happened to happen, would I care? Yeah, would I care? I certainly would, but it wouldn't hurt me. I'd be coming right back the next day. So just cut that unit size down.
Maestro.
Yeah, no, the only advice I have is, when you do have a bad spell or a rough spell, I just tighten up, get more selective, more judicious. And that usually helps me bounce back, just limit the plays, only focus on the ones you really love.
Especially if you do what we do. We do this 7 days a week. And so we preach all the time, whether it's this show, whether it's our golf show, whether it's our MMA show, that when you do it every single day, that the slow grind, it's the hardest thing in sports gambling to do, is to grind it out, is to do matchups in golf instead of betting on a winner at plus 4,500. It's the hardest thing to do, but it's the most rewarding way to do it. And especially when you do it and we have fun like we do. We're making it fun. We're changing the game. That's what we do here at the Early Edge. So you want to stay with us all day. And the last thing you don't want to do is cherry pick. I hate cherry pickers. Because you're coming on a Wednesday, we might have a 3 and 5 day, and all of a sudden you tweet at me and say, "You guys suck." Well, we were great over the weekend, 22 and 6. So where were you then? Don't cherry pick. Either you play or you don't play, and limit that unit size. One other big game tonight we haven't even touched on, and I apologize. I just had somebody on Twitter say, "Coach, you never talk about hockey." And you're right, and it's my bad. It's my bad. So here's what we have tonight in the NHL. We got the Lightning and the Islanders. Lightning are at home. They're a part of the gym tonight as well. The Lightning on the money line, which is still alive after the Belgium team covered for us early today. We need the Padres money line, thanks to Jay Smooth and we need the Lightning on the money line tonight. This has really been a fun series and a fun playoffs. We've cashed a lot. The games are very, very close. Our simulations at Sportsline has Tampa Bay 3.1, the Islanders 2.5. That's to be expected in the hockey playoffs. This is their conference finals now, just like in the NBA. The over is a B play at 5. Has anybody been betting hockey?
Yeah, I have. And let me say this. Anytime that you get a game at 5, I understand that in the 2 series, getting over 5 has been difficult. But here's the thing, and especially with the game tonight, you're going to get the Lightning at home. They haven't lost back-to-back games in the playoffs this season. I understand that the Islands are puck line machines, and you might have kind of a 3-way play here. But here's the deal. I think that the Lightning are going to get this thing done tonight at home. I think that you're going to get 5, so you could play for a push and hope that you get over. And also, I think that you could get the Islanders plus 1.5. That might not be a bad play as well because, out of the 6 Islanders playoff losses this year, only 2 of them, have been more than 2 goals or more. So anyways, just going off of that, I think the Lightning get this thing done. I think that hitting the 5 and the over is a good play because you're seeing a lot of juice on that Lightning money line. So playing the total at 5, might be your way.
And now I just want to,
Yeah, no, go ahead.
no, Matt Severance, who's going to be on the show tomorrow, I believe. I'm excited to get him involved, and I believe still our number 1 hockey expert. He's on the Lightning. He's laying the 185, and he points out that they haven't lost back-to-back games during the playoffs, and that he had a stat that the last 80 times they've scored 2 or fewer goals, they've only lost twice the next game. Oh, wow. So plus John Bowman, another good hockey expert, also on the Lightning, as you can see from the graphic there. And he points out that, the Islanders' home road splits are pretty significant, and the place will be rocking tonight. So that's one of the reasons he's on Tampa Bay.
Yeah, hockey is a sport that I don't mind laying a 175 or a 180 number because of the separation in teams a lot of the time. I don't mind it. It's not like a baseball game where you're doing it 7 days a week or anything like that. So I don't mind the minus 185 number. And AB, I love how you pointed out, because M squared, we talk about it all the time here on the show, that if you're betting it over, you don't want to bet into a losing proposition. Meaning if it was 5.5 now, but you're getting it for a better number, that's not as good as a higher number at 5. Because you're adding a losing proposition to it. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, completely agree. Yep.
Coach, I feel bad, but DeGrom just blew somebody away with a 99-mile-per-hour fastball. I mean, it was like hopeless. It was like up in his eyes. I don't know what he was swinging at.
It was Ronald Acuna.
Still 1-0.
Well, I was going to say,
it was Acuna?
He did it in his at bat. I guess he struck out.
He didn't drive him in. It's 1-0. Yeah.
See, the Maestro loves to just stick it in. He just loves to let me have it. Johnny, I need some winners. We're down to 4 minutes left in the show. I need to know. Text me. I need to know who our 3 winners are, because these people have been very, very patient. So I need 3 names of who our winners are going to be. We had 200 likes. Thank you very much for that as we continue to grow the live show. And also, many of you put in your Twitter handle. And okay, here we go. I got 2 names, and then Johnny, I'm going to need 1 more. So we're going to go at ERCEG15. So ERCEG15 at JCamDog. And then our winner from the coach play is at FNYman628. I wonder if he's a firefighter in New York City. That'd be pretty cool. So those are your 3 winners. Either Johnny or the jeweler will reach out to you and let you know how you can cash in on your year-long subscription to Sportsline. Come join the party. We're very, very happy to have you. All right,
and
guys.
That's great, Sean. That's great, because this Sean, who was one of the winners, literally one of the most loyal, consistent followers every day. He's in the chat. We're hearing from him all the time. So that's great.
And that's why you run the show, Maestro. That's why you run the show, because you know it all. All right. We do it every show at the end. Your final thoughts on your night. It could be anything, your plays, whatever you want. Jay Smooth, we're starting with you. Let's go.
All right, let's do it. So yeah, I'm all over this Houston Astros game. I mean, we've seen it a lot recently when you get this big market movement that, we're going to come in and get a 3-0 game. It's just how the cookie has crumbled. But again, the numbers look so great for the over to hit in this Astros and Orioles game. I love that play. And then my second play of the night is going to be on the Padres against the Dodgers. We didn't really get time to talk about this huge marquee matchup, but I love this play tonight. I love the Dodgers. I love the Padres. I love that the Dodgers aren't favored. And there's this stat out there that talks about these teams that are always so favored when they come in as the underdog. When the market prices them as the underdog, it is for a good reason. So I am on the Padres. Expect them to get a win and for the Dodgers to look a little unlike themselves tonight.
They struggled a little bit, but watching them over the weekend, and it seems that they've got their mojo back. They got some really big hits. They had some big wins over the Cincinnati Reds, and I think the Padres are back to being the team that we all thought they were going to be at the beginning of the year. So we're on that tonight as well. All right, AB, what do you got, pal?
Yep. So like I said, I love Vanderbilt tonight. I understand money line 200. That's a lot of juice. However, here's the deal. You could take a look at maybe playing a parlay with the Lightning money line in the NHL tonight. If you play Vanderbilt's run line in the Lightning money line, you could get plus 166. If you look at Vandy money line, Lightning money line, somewhere around there, a little bit less. But again, I think you've got two huge teams with two huge juices, so to say. There's a reason for it. Little parlay might be your action tonight.
All right, say that one more time. Lightning on the money line and Vanderbilt on the run line.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. I'm putting that in right now as soon as I get off. All right. All right. And then, of course, we always close the show with our guy, Maestro. What do you got?
All right, Coach. I think I'm going to go a little bit off the beaten path here and give you guys all a pick that is not even up on the site yet, but it came in from Micah Roberts, who's 45-18 on baseball. That's his current run. And I just respect this guy so much. I mean, a real industry insider. This is his write-up, and I enjoyed it. He says the Diamondbacks have lost 17 straight. The streak should have been over long ago, but this is how baseball goes sometimes. Even when they play well, they lose. Starting a new series at home would be the perfect spot for Arizona to win, but I'm going against them until I finally lose because it's cheap, and I've built a nice bankroll betting against them. Take the Brewers. So Micah has been going against Arizona, and he's doing it again tonight.
The one thing I love about you guys and my team is that growing up, and really when I played in my 20s all by myself and didn't know what I was doing, is they always tell you, well, if a team's on a big winning streak, you can't play it. Or if a team's on a long losing streak, you can't play them. It's okay to go back to the well. It's okay to bet them until they lose. You would have won 17 straight bets on the money line against, or whatever it is, against the Diamondbacks. It's okay. When you take the ticket to the pay window, nobody up there says, hey, wait a second. You just bet on them 17 times in a row. Nobody says that. They just give you your money. All right. What a great hour this was. What a great hour this was. We will be back tomorrow. I won't be here because I've got to do a little show we like to call First Cut as we get set for another big week on the PGA Tour at the Travelers Championship. But I believe we will have a host that is completely capable of getting the job done. And Jay Smooth, it will not be you. You're way too pretty to host the show. All right. That's going to do it. That's going to do it for Jay Smooth, for AB, for the Maestro, for our new producer, Johnny, and, of course, our executive producer, the jeweler, who puts it all together here at the Early Edge brand. This has been Early Edge Live, and I'm the coach. We'll all see you tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern, live right here on YouTube, on Spotify, on Apple, as we continue to grow. Subscribe, notifications. You know what we do. Remember, this is the only place, the show of record for your Early Edge. Good luck. Do you want best bets in your feed every single day? All you have to do is hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with all things Early Edge.